Okay, good morning, folks, and welcome to Swing Trading Today. This is Bob Desmond, and it is 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, August the 5th. What we're looking at right now is the 4-hour chart of the S&P 500 futures, and they are up yet again, a little over a half percentage point. They're looking very strong. This 4-hour bar, just opened up now. We'll begin with equities since I started here. NASDAQ 100 up as well this morning, lagging a bit the S&P 500, but it appears as though we are heading higher. We definitely want to go to commodities, but where's my Russell? Let's go to the Russell. The Russell, we were talking about this last night on Market Wrap, and as a matter of fact, earlier in the week as well, that it appeared as though the Russell was setting up for a nice rally relative to the triple Qs, which were kind of extended. And sure enough, the Russell is up spot 83% this morning. And it looks as though we are going to head up higher here. This is a very powerful chart. You can see that what we did was we rallied, pulled back, retest of support, rallied again. This is exactly what you want to see in a strong market, is a stair-step pattern. Note how we were in this trading range for a couple of weeks and a powerful breakout on the 3rd, and this bar just went positive, new 4-hour high. Let's take a look at the US dollar. Now, the dollar is a disaster area. The effort by dollar bulls at current is to try to put in a higher low here. We did break out, but ultimately we have not been able to get a continuation rally. We pulled back. We're doing retests of what was resistance. Let's try now to act as support. But given the level of money printing, it's going to be very, very difficult for the dollar to find a footing. Good morning, Tommy. Yeah, please hit the like button, please. Thank you, Tommy. What else do we have? Let's go to commodities. Nat gas was just, it's still in fuego. I was ready to talk past tense. SNE? Okay. Good morning, Jedi. Nat gas looking out amazing. Really amazing. I want to take a quick look at nat gas on a daily basis. We had a big storm here yesterday, and the internet is still not back up to speed. There we go. For those living on the East Coast, especially in the Northeast, it gets pretty crazy. It has hit early this year, but pretty crazy in late summer, early fall, with the storms and hurricanes that come up the East Coast. All right, so this is the wrong chart. UNG, Bob. Let's go to a weekly chart first. Look at this breakout. You know, we haven't closed out the week yet on that gas. I wouldn't go chasing it here, but man, what a breakout if we close there. You know, we'll definitely be taking a look at the chart on Thursday evening to see whether or not this is going to hold. But if we break out, pull back, do a retest, this is the UNG, and follow through, I mean, wow, nat gas looking very, very good. Good volume so far this week. Again, a few trading days left to go. Out of curiosity, let's take a look at a monthly chart. Yeah, you can tell I was already looking at this. This goes back weeks now. We were looking for a breakout on a monthly basis. We have the breakout. A really, really early stage, nice breakout here. But it's not time to go jumping all in quite yet. Tommy, dollar weakness, but yen still looking after strength. I think BOJ. Let's check out the yen. Where is it? Oh, it's over here. Here's the Nikkei. Nikkei's strong. 4-hour basis anyway. We'll go to the yen in a second. Very close to resistance on the Nikkei. Out of curiosity, let's see where we are on a weekly basis. Wow, Nikkei is getting ready to break out here. Nikkei's looking good. Early stage breakout. Let's see what my yen is. Here's the yen on a weekly basis. Yeah, yen's strong. It was really strong last week. Then it reversed. Weekly chart thus far up. Close to a bullish reversal week. We undercut last week's lows. Let's go to a 4-hour chart. It's come off its highs here, but it was extended. Consolidating now. You know, the difference between us and the Japanese is that they have a savings rate, while ours is building reluctantly. I think that the yen is going to continue to strengthen versus the dollar longer term. We're consolidating here. Let's see what else we got. Check out the euro. Euro very strong. This is a weekly chart. Euro strong. NY Jets, hey, good morning. Hello, Bob. I sold AGQ yesterday. Congrats on that. On all the talk of pullbacks, if there are any pullbacks, shouldn't let's bring it up. You know what NY Jets is referring to? He's talking about the AGQ, which is a ETF putting you long of silver. We were along of it. This thing is just an absolute monster. Absolute monster. This is a weekly chart. I mean, yeah, I think the way you need to look at this right now is that silver, gold, they're the new currency. They're the new currency. With all this debasement that's going on, I don't see how it's ignored. I think any pullback is going to be bought. And there will be pullbacks, right? Ultimately you're gonna get a dollar rally. I think it was Tommy that mentioned earlier that at some point in time, you have Japan, you have the Europeans that are exporters. There's going to be a race to the bottom. So they're going to try to weaken their currency so that they can export more. And that's going to cause a pullback in the U.S. dollar, albeit brief. It's going to cause a rally in the U.S. dollar. And you're going to get your opportunity to buy these commodities on a pullback. But right now, they're still looking strong. But I can't blame you for booking some profits here. I mean, I did it already. Regrettably, I should have stayed long. We still have our gold mining trade, but we left some money on the table, no doubt about it. But any pullback, I mean, if we got a pullback here and a retest of support, I would be entertaining reopening a position. Obviously, we would take into consideration what bonds are doing, how the economy looks, how economic data is playing out at that point in time. But on any pullback, I think longer term, we're going up higher. But I wouldn't be the least bit surprised to see a pullback fairly soon. Let's take a look at oil. I think there was an inventory build reported. A draw last night. A draw on oil. And you're seeing oil. You're going to love this one. Oil get pumped up higher. Cheap laughs. Yeah, Tommy, I think there's a lot of FOMO out there. And, besides the FOMO, I think that we're seeing a lot of catch up because you had the gold-silver ratio so ridiculously skewed in favor of gold, and silver is just completely undervalued, or was undervalued. That's certainly corrected itself somewhat. Let's take a look at what's Virgin Galactic doing today. There's a headline they're coming out with a passenger jet. It's trading down. Good. And I'll tell you why I'm saying good, folks. It's because we were long of Virgin Galactic, and they announced a 25 million share dilution of the stock Sorry, Sam. I forgot to say that. Sam is from Italy, everybody. Our good friends over in Italy. So I mentioned that we stopped out as we saw a pullback and no floor to be found. Long story short, I said, you know what? Let's stop out here, and we're probably going to see the teens. Sure enough, what was the low? We hit a low of 1950 this morning in the pre-market. So Virgin, it's close to where I'd want to get back in. Not quite there yet, but we may be looking to get long yet again of Virgin. I keep calling it SpaceX because of the symbol. I never claimed to be, excuse me, excuse me, folks. I never claimed to be the smartest guy in the room. And nobody ever accused me of being the smartest guy in the room. All right, what's gasoline doing? Where's Gaso? There's the VIX gasoline. Gasoline's getting ready to move. For those commodity traders out there, it looks like Gaso is looking pretty good. Let's go to a little bit extended here on an hourly chart. Let's go to a weekly chart. Yeah. We're going to go here. So it looks as though we're very close to a weekly breakout on gasoline. What does that imply? What's the I word? That the Federal Reserve, I love when they do this, they only want to talk about core inflation. They X out food and energy. But the I word is here. The common man's going to feel this. We're going to break out on gasoline. If you're talking about gasoline, you have to take a look at home heating oil. Scary to say, but we do have the winter months coming up here soon. I need to write down a list of these symbols. I'd save so much time. All right, I don't want to waste people's time here. Give it 2 more scrolls. I know this is not home heating oil, but I read an article yesterday about lumber. Yeah, it's in Fuego. Lumber. Look at this. Don't look here. Don't look at. There's no inflation, folks. Don't go looking. No. Here we go. Heating oil. It's going to go. Monthly chart. Look at this. Yeah, Tommy, they're not going to. I don't think he's got the authority anyway to postpone the election. I think that's a congressional thing. And believe me, I'm no expert on that. All right, let's take a look at. I got to clean this up. Bonds. Bonds are pulling back. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I would have thunk that bonds would have been rallying given the commodity action, but they are not. Very, very interesting. Let's go back to the dollar really quick. I want to see what it's doing. All right, so the question now becomes with the dollar, do we put in a higher low? And this is what, if you got a rally in the dollar, wrong color. If you got a rally in the dollar and a rally in yields, therein lies your opportunity to begin buying more or adding more commodities on a pullback, because they should react now. I'll be honest with you, I'm hoping for a quick spike in yields so that we can reload up on silver and some other commodities. Nibble, build a position. But that may be too much to ask for. Okay, let's take some requests here. Let me just go to my members area. I have to take a look at what was requested first. Anybody see this blast over in Beirut, Lebanon? Horrible. Absolutely horrible. All right, ATVI. Did they not report? You can see this dollar bar, 4-hour bar, just went green. I digress. I could have sworn these guys reported. Yeah, they did. I'm not sure how their earnings came out, what their guidance was, and I don't want to spend too much time here. But apparently we're pulling back. Let's just talk about this as if it's a reaction to the news and all is right with the world. We'll take a look at the chart. This is not reflecting the after hours price action. This is a weekly chart. Now monthly, strong chart. What's the support level here? 88, 85. Where are we at current? That's a big drop relative to we're right there. We're right there. 83.70 appears to be support. What was the low here? 83.50. We're right at this monthly support level at current. I'd wait to see how we close out the day. I would certainly do more analysis as to whether or not their forward-looking guidance was strong. But it looks as though we're going to open up right at monthly support. on a weekly basis. Nice breakout on the week. Powerful chart. On a daily basis, I think the reaction that we're seeing right now is kind of factored in. We rallied up and into the third standard deviation Bollinger Band, and we're reacting and pulling back. Where's this Bollinger? At 80.55. You know, making the assumption that they didn't have a horrible number and their forward-looking guidance is as expected, and this is just a sell the news event, I think the shares are a buy. I think this is a powerful, powerful chart, and I have to keep caveating this. I don't know what their earnings report was, why there was a reaction. I'm going to make the assumption it was a sell the news event. ATVI looking very strong. What else do we have up here? We have Beyond Meat. I think this is another one that reported earnings. Yep, they did. Now, Beyond Meat is on our watch list. I'm glad to see that we're pulling back here. Hopefully it wasn't on horrible news. All right, so expenses, costs incurred, blah, 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 blah. All right, I'd have to drill down on this and spend some time. But as we did with ATVI, let's spend some time making the assumption that earnings were as is, where would, or as was expected. Sorry, past tense, as was expected, and all we're seeing is a reaction to the news. So where would we want to get involved with Beyond Meat? We've gone over this chart before. The 119.94 mark looks very, very attractive. Where are we right now? 128.50. I want to remove this alert, and I want to create a new one. We'll keep sensitivity loose. All right, so if we hit the 119.94 mark, that would be an interesting entry point at which to get long with a stop right below. What's that symbol again, NY? I have a couple more to go through, and I'll do that one for you. CMNX, I think. All right, square. Well, you know, let's continue to drill down here. So far, excuse me, so far this week we have a weekly breakout. Support at 132, 133, around there. Daily chart. Now, what's encouraging about the daily chart is that we've broken through. I mean, at least yesterday. Granted, yes, this morning we are pulling back. We want to acknowledge that. 128.50 last print. But we broke through this volume shelf. And that's bullish. So I'm going to be looking at beyond a bit closer because this pullback looks interesting. So I remain bullish unless, of course, look at how it's just bouncing off of this volume shelf. Very interesting. It spent a lot of time backing and filling, trying to get through it. It closed above it yesterday. Earnings took it down. I think this is going to be an opportunity to possibly open up a trade. CX. Thanks, NY. It's been a while since I looked at that one. All right. Monthly chart. Very, very nice breakout here, but we need to acknowledge that obviously we're in a long-term downtrend on CX. Yeah. Do I have this one saved? It's been a long time since I looked at this one. I doubt I have it saved. No. The daily chart looks rock solid. All right, so on a month, let's go back to this chart for a moment. I started talking about it and I stepped away from it. There's a lot of resistance above. I think that we could still head up higher here. But the best way to get through this resistance is to get that running start, get a pullback, and then a rally up and through resistance, a ton of resistance here. But looking at it from the perspective of a swing trade, I think there's more upside to go. Stokes looking really good. Really nice pullback here on RSI. I think that there's more fuel in the tank, possibly up to 345. Once you start seeing the fours, though, that becomes stiff resistance, especially at 439. But I think the entry point to watch for on this one is that should we close out the month above this breakout point, I would watch for pullback, retest of monthly support, and then add to the position. And ideally, you see a rip higher, new monthly highs on CX. Let's drill down here. Yeah, take note of these volume shelves up here. This is where your resistance is going to be. Stokes look good. RSI looks good. You have a 200 period moving average on a weekly basis acting as a bit of a resistance. You saw it last week as well, as noted by that topping tail. And here's your trading range. I mean, right here. You had a breakout. I think that there is still more. That's a horrible. I can't even keep that up there. I'm embarrassed. That's a horrible annotation I just did. All right, that's better. Breakout yesterday. I think that you still have more room to go. Mid threes, it can head up to. But I would just beware. A lot of resistance above. If you're looking to invest, wait for the pullbacks and buy on strength. You're welcome, NY. Hey, Trish, good morning to you. Sure thing. Trish, you looking to short Tesla? RSI flattening out. Oh, excuse me, ultimate oscillator flattening out. You know, it's still holding trend. We are seeing some topping action up here. I knew it. I knew it. RSI monthly basis 85. We know from other stocks that it could hold RSI like this for a while. Huge reaction last month to a trade above the third standard deviation Bollinger Band. You know, in the back of my mind, I keep thinking about how this market is just so rigged ahead of the elections. I think we're consolidating here, Trish. Let's check out a daily chart. I think what we're going to do is we're going to bounce around in this wedge formation, and ultimately they're going to break it out. They tried to take it down right here on the 24th, and that didn't work out too well. I think you really need to see a weak market to go shorting Tesla. I mean, it's not overbought, quote unquote overbought. Yes, on a monthly basis it is, but on a daily basis, short-term swing trade, it's not. I'm seeing a consolidation here. I wouldn't short into it. You're welcome, Trish. And in fact, if we break through this volume shelf right here, I think that we may move up a little bit higher. All right, folks. With that, I want to say everybody have a profitable trading day. Thanks for joining in. And I will talk to you tomorrow morning. Be well.